Argue that point.
Because the viewer, you know what? Actually, well, I'll take this actually pretty serious. Okay.
Good. I want you to.
Good. I will gesticulate with my magic wands while I talk, so people will be entertained. Magic, hurrah!
Yes.
Listen, it comes down to a very simple, basic equation. It's super simple. Okay?
I'm back. I'm back. Hold on.
Good. So
Jeff
the
is
creator,
explaining.
the creator
Yes.
creates the thing. Wow, I'm so tiny. I went.
Welcome
so
back,
big,
Jeff. We'll get you big again.
So big,
The Jeff Holiday cam.
Should I bring him back?
Bring him back to the full screen here because he's
all right. Hold on.
The side screen is small. Well, that works too.
Have to do that,
Am I interrupting something?
Uh-oh.
Yeah!
Who's here? Is it Vaush?
Jeff,
might be.
I gotta pee really bad. Talk to Vaush real quick. I gotta pee real bad.
I didn't realize
I gotta pee
Vaush
really
was
bad.
showing up when everyone was naked.
Oh wait, how many people are? Wait, are you all naked? Naked? Should I be worried? Should I have the cam up?
Topless. I'm just topless right now. It's fine. There was things went a little bit off the rails. It was an interesting circumstance, and to try and distract from how off the rails it was, I just decided to start taking my clothes off and playing with props. So
all right. So how did it get off the rails exactly? Fill me in. Catch me up.
I think they started talking about the Jews.
Well, this is a very Jewish podcast, so I have to assume
I was one of them.
Favorably,
you know, for
That's
long
true.
enough.
That's true.
Wait, did you used to be
Ben,
Jewish?
Yeah, Ben's Jewish.
I am part Jewish. Yeah, I'm like, Catholic, Polak. So like, there's like that little bit that's Jewish.
Right. Those two groups that famously get along.
Vaush, you gave me my favorite stream ever the other night when when the
Take your time, Ben. Take your time.
Hold on, when the Democrat won Pennsylvania, you were like,
like the Fetterman scream. Yeah, of course. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's big boy season in Congress. it's big lad 2022. I'm fully here for it. Not the only big lad either. There's that other guy. Who is that chat? Who's that other guy we saw? The one who the other one who looked like the Kingpin? Yeah, also Fetterman is a shorts and hoodie guy who we very much support. It's Autism Awareness Year.
It was a pretty fantastic showing. The midterms were glorious. Honestly, they were glorious. And the thing is too, there's like a really interesting situation with how people are interpreting it now. And a lot of people don't really understand that when you have an incumbent Democratic president, when those fucking midterms happen, you always expect like the House is going to flip. Like there's going to be a changing of the guard and that sort of thing. But the main thing that people, and it's historically, this is just proven over and over and over and over again, but the red tsunami definitely did not happen. It just didn't happen. It didn't happen, and their showing was fucking pathetic, and it was a glorious night. It was really great. And their copium was Der Lucies.
Did we lose the Senate or the House as liberals?
Not called yet.
We don't actually know yet. It's irritatingly close. There are some ballot counters in Arizona right now who are doing like a little flip with every ballot before they count it. They're having fun. Every once in a while they'll check to see the media of like 10,000 people grinding their teeth into dust, and they'll be like, hey,
like Jeff just said, right? When we have an incumbent president, look at the history. The other side usually sways midterm. They usually do. You look at the records. The fact that it's not even known yet is a win for the liberals. All right, whether or not that win has weight, we'll have to see. But the fact that people are still questioning, that's a good thing.
Vaush be looking sturdy.
Thank you. Yeah,
I'm just watching.
Why are you so sturdy, Vaush?
Yeah, it's because I'm so tired right now. I feel like a brick. I'm
Thank you for showing up.
Yeah, no, I woke up sleepy today. I don't know. I've been sleepwalking through the whole
I know
goddamn
Ben
thing.
had talked about you coming on, but we couldn't finalize it. So to have you on is a pleasant surprise.
No, I'm sorry. No, I'm
Thank
sorry. I meant to respond. I saw the message and I was like, oh shit. But then I had to get in the shower and
Yeah.
then it's right now, like 7 hours later. So
Yeah.
what matters most is that it's autism season 2020. You know, we are the shorts and the hoodie. The fact that the Maricopa counting office is staffed by the people from the TV show The Office. So like there'll be some guy will be counting and then the prankster will run up behind him and say boo and he'll drop like 50,000 ballots and have to start back over. Like it's immaterial. I agree. It's been a pretty funny set of reactions from the fucking midterms. Yeah.
I think the worst thing about The Office, all right, The Office has brought along a lot of innovation in television, but The Office has done something that fucked up humanity
So-
as a whole by making a single camera do the work of what three
we
cameras
had that
before
done
had to do.
here, by the way. But
Before all The Office, there were 3 cameras that recorded a sitcom.
But Vaush, I want to hear like my co-host here, Billy the Fridge, will attribute any weird thing to the CIA.
Mm-hmm. Fair.
Yes.
And I want to know, like, do you really attribute all this CIA shit to like reality?
Well, the CIA generally operates outside the country when they can. You mean for the midterms?
Yes. No, I'm talking about all the way back to John F. Kennedy.
Yeah, he's really into like this weird.
I'm talking about who was behind the assassination. Vaush, was it a random person who thought that JFK was a problem, or was it a CIA influence that thus directed the next 70 years of politics? All I ask.
I think it might be one of those cascading plot situations, right? Where the CIA had their guy setting up from the grassy knoll, and then Lee Harvey Oswald took the shot, and the CIA was like, "Fuck what? Wait, fucking what?" And ran after him, you know, like what the fuck? And whew, we got the guy, you know. Meanwhile, like their guy is just like sort of waiting there at the knoll, then just sort of goes home. Later
Now,
dies of a
Vaush,
heart
He was
attack.
like, I'm at the
Vaush,
knoll, guys.
I'm drunk. I would never disrespect you like this sober.
He's drunk.
But how much money have you received from the CIA to say this?
Oh, well, they mostly pay me in options, you know, in Lockheed Martin. So
Fair,
it's- yeah.
fair. I appreciate your honesty. I'll no longer ask you about the question.
It's a good amount though. It's why I prop up.
I
the
tried to
Ukraine
get
war so much,
Vaush
you know,
to come
5,000
with me
HIMARS.
to a. I
We've
tried
been
to get
drinking all day. It's
I tried to
fucked
get
up over
Vaush
here.
to come with me to a retro gaming expo in
Yeah.
supposed to
Portland.
I wanted to go.
Yeah, and then I saw a person get murdered.
Yeah, if Jeff and Vaush would have been there, there would be
They
one
would've
more
saw the
human life on
murder.
this earth, and that's why I gotta say the two of you are evil.
Like literally, the only reason I was there at that platform was because I'm a big fan of Metal Jesus.
Yeah.
All you people who are like retro gaming people know Metal Jesus. He was like, "Oh, this is a good sushi restaurant to go to in Portland." So I went there and ate like my fill, and then
and
I
there
went.
just happened to be a murder.
And dude, like 2 guys were like scuffling, and I'm like, oh, they're gonna fight and work it out. And I saw one like pull out a gun, like pow, pow, pow. The
Yep.
other one, and I'm like, oh shit.
Vosh, you and I aren't as close as Jeff Holiday is, so I wanna clarify. When I accused you of being guilty of murder, it was a joke.
Oh, what?
You're
Oh,
all-
was it? Oh, that's good. Okay, then
Jeff would have already known
then
because Jeff and I have hung out multiple times in real life. You and I have only had a couple of times.
Thanks for
fair,
letting me
Billy-
know. I can unorder that fake passport that I just I sent the
I'm
code
so
text
fucking
for.
wasted right now. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, I
Billy
could, at
has-
like the Mark Wahlberg, like things would have been different if I was there. You know, I could have stopped
Yeah.
9/11 and that murder on the
It's
subway.
such a good.
I had a
frustration.
friend, an old friend from high school, hit me up the other day, and he was messaging me about how he just recently filmed a movie with Mark Wahlberg, and they started dumping some really heavy private shit on me, and I'm like, is Mark Wahlberg just the new Manchurian Candidate trigger word? Like, is that where everybody
don't know.
goes? They bring up Mark Wahlberg, and then shit gets too real to understand and actualize.
Yeah, because he's the guy. He could have stopped it all.
He's the guy.
You know, he could have prevented everything. So naturally,
Yeah.
since Mark
Oh, look,
Wahlberg is
some
like
poor ones.
the paradigm
Vaush
shift
should do a
personified.
backflip to the headstand and also come over to my house and massage my feet.
Ben, we got to put this star sign behind the money dono
Fix your stream.
layover. But that was Fixed Soul. Thank you, Fixed Soul. Vosh should do a backflip for your $11.11.
All right.
Yeah,
Right.
leave leave the backflipping aside. I'm
right.
so tired I couldn't fall down and hit the floor.
So to be fair, I'm gonna back up Billy on this. He has accused me of at least 2 murders and 3 hate crimes. So it is a thing.
Yes.
You do get used to it after a while.
Well, every
Yeah.
stream here's a hate crime.
Yeah, and I do feel bad because Ben messaged me when he saw somebody literally got murdered in front of him.
I
and
did.
I played it off. I was like, oh shit, yeah, okay, well,
Because you were supposed to meet me in
in Portland, yeah, I was gonna
Portland.
be up there. Things happen. I felt bad about it.
yeah,
But
I was like,
kind of-
oh, shit. I was
but I kind of-
alone and just saw a murder right in front of me.
Played it off because I was like, oh shit, oh murder, oh damn, well, welcome to Portland. But then I realized that that actually was your first murder.
I was
You've never done a
traumatic.
Murder before.
Yeah, it was. I was kind of traumatized.
Yeah,
It's weird
it's
to me.
actually a little bit bad to see people get killed. That's actually a little I've heard that.
It
I've read that
sucks.
in books.
Yeah,
I always feel
I was.
bad.
it's not fucking fun, man.
It's ironically enough, it's Holiday Park. Holiday Park. There's like a transit station right there.
I know
right
exactly what you're talking about.
in the middle of the road because everything's like in the middle of the road. And I'm waiting for the train to come, and I see these 2 guys, and they're like kind of like pushing at each other, like "fuck you," and then all of a sudden they start like really scuffling, and then one pulls out a gun and just like pops the other one, like pop,
Yeah,
pop, pop.
I just feel bad, and I do want to apologize because my response to that to you was like, oh yeah, hey, first time, and then you were like, yeah, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
that's the first time you ever saw a murder. Oh, buddy.
I don't want to be callous to murder though, and I don't
Yeah,
want to be like
Ben's a
callous
sweet
to
boy,
like
dude.
gun shit either. Honestly,
I felt gross about it. Yeah, I felt really bad about
so
it.
like I'm a Midwestern. Well, yes, and I'm kind of like a Midwestern like person. Like the gun shit you guys are on is kind of cringy to me. Like
Wait, what do you mean?
The shooting guns thing.
yeah, to
What?
me is kind of cringy to me.
Why?
It's fine.
Even,
Don't
like
even
the
try to
Vaush shit
explain
too.
it.
Like you guys
He's
are
been
like
brainwashed, Jeff. It's
pro-gun.
fine.
well, yeah.
This is such a quintessentially American. I know there are like Europeans listening right now who are just like objectively horrified at this. Like, oh yeah, first murder on a subway that you've witnessed. Oh, okay, the first one really sucks. You get used to it. And there are Europeans right now that are just like clutching their chest in disgust at this.
It's true though.
Yeah.
They don't know freedom isn't free.
When I was a
It's
kid,
not.
No.
when I
It's
was
not.
a kid and I thought I witnessed my first murder, it turned out that my friends had tried to kill this dude, but there was no gun. They just bashed his head in with a brick, and it turns out the guy lived. So what I thought was my first murder was not even a murder. So that's what jaded me. That's what's jaded me. Because I thought I saw a murder, but the motherfucker got up and walked away a day later. We thought we left him in the fucking woods to die, but we were wrong. So now I, a human being, is jaded because what I thought was murder wasn't. So now actual murder, I do know now, but from my initial reaction to actual murder, it's
Vaush.
not that big of a deal.
Vaush,
What's the
can we,
statute
like,
of limitations in the state of Washington?
It's true.
There aren't any.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Vosh, we should
Billy,
get you,
you're a victim.
like let's get you to drink a couple again because that was your best stream ever.
Well, no, I don't know. Right now, I feel like I'm learning. It might actually be irresponsible to be drunk during a live stream because you might admit to an attempted murder from.
You
No,
might
I-
have to-
You know
do
what
it.
though?
Here's the
you
thing,
might have to
Vosh.
be a
here's the thing.
mandatory
Here's the thing.
reporter. Yeah.
If anybody questions my attempted murder story, you're racist because the people who did it were illegal
So-
immigrants.
So Vosh, in all honesty, like
I'm gonna go have a cigarette. I'll be right back.
through that like shooting
kidding.
situation, and I'm glad that other people on the platform weren't trying to be heroes and shoot at this other guy. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, if he didn't bother to shoot anybody else, they wouldn't have been
He
heroes,
could have
right?
though, but
Like killing him after he's
The
already
midterms have
killed
given
somebody
us the
doesn't
gift
save
of
anybody's life.
watching
I was
You
just
gotta-
glad
You got to pull the Streamlabs above the screen
yeah,
of the stars.
But seriously, like I was just glad that no one went that way.
Of course, because there
probably.
aren't going to be a lot of armed people.
But
in
I feel
Portland.
like if enough people were armed, they'd feel like I feel like a lot of those people that are packing under their shirts or whatever are just waiting for that reason.
Can I defend Jeff?
To be the hero.
Can I defend Jeff and slightly myself in this?
Well, I feel like Vaush is one of these people too.
Really quick.
Well, what am I? Wait, what? How am I getting roped in? What am I?
Hold on. Okay. Be honest.
Vaush,
like,
look.
so
just
like,
join the
so
fact
like,
that we all want to kill people.
You're on that platform. You're on
Uh-huh.
that platform like me.
Right.
And then you see the guy get shot. What do? Do you
This is the thing. As a responsible gun
Like
owner,
unarmed? I don't have a fucking.
Okay.
I don't carry on me when I'm at a subway station. What the fuck would I
Okay.
do? Cushion the
That's
next
good.
bullet with my soft,
Same
fleshy
here.
stomach fat?
Okay. All right.
as a responsible gun owner, you understand when you are at threat or somebody else is at threat of violence and potential murder, right?
I
When
don't
someone's
trust any
already
of
been
them.
shot, when somebody's already been shot as a responsible gun owner, you don't think to shoot the person who shot them before you think to help the person who's been shot. As a responsible gun owner, if the person who shot them continues to shoot other people and aim at other people, that's when you think to shoot them. When they're
I don't
running
put
away,
the
when they're
first
running
shot-
away, trying not to shoot other people, trying to get away from the crime scene, you worry more about the person who has been shot than the shooter themselves. As a responsible gun owner, and I can say that because I myself may have been accessory to many murders.
Yeah,
having been an accessory to exactly 0 murders in my life, to my knowledge, I don't actually have a strong, preset set of assumptions on how I would react to any of these situations. Apart from me generally being thankful that I have not ever seen somebody be killed, that seems like it would actually really suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you never had to fire ever, like.
Yeah, I promise, if I had ever been in a situation where I ever had to root and toot and point and shoot in public, that shit would already be well known to my stream and probably everyone else. Absolutely not. That's probably bad. We probably shouldn't.
Where I felt like
shoot
the worst point in
guns.
time where I felt like I had to shoot was when I was campaigning for Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, well, that's a dangerous situation. So obviously, you would need to keep your guard up.
I kind of want to talk a little bit about gun culture though, because like
What
there's
the
something
fuck did I
that
step
recently.
into?
I know. They've been going for a while. They're very tossed. They've been doing beer bongs. I do want to talk a little bit about gun culture though, because like something really interesting happened in Oregon because they're passing Bill 114, and I don't know if you heard about
I'm
this.
familiar.
Vaush,
I'm
but
against it. Yeah.
yeah, I'm against it too. It's really interesting because obviously like America, we have this problem with mass shootings, with gun violence, with all this and all that, and like I'm on board with that. Like I get it. It's wrong. It's terrible what's been happening for a long time. But the problem that we have is that legislation that's actually trying to be put forth about it is so insane, and it does not address the fucking problem. You've got this bill, and it starts out with like, well, if you want to buy a gun, you got to take a gun safety class. That's good. Okay, sure. Take a gun safety class. That will not stop mass shootings, but it'll stop like maybe suddenly have a Ben in front of my camera. Hi, Ben. It won't stop mass shootings, but it might stop, like, say, accidental discharges. It'll stop some like, casual domestic accidents. I like that. That's cool. Sure. Make it so you have to take a gun safety class. Say that you have to get registered. Maybe. Okay. The big problem that I have with it, the department that's going to be making sure that you can have or not have a gun is the fucking police department. It's the fucking cops. So it gets down to like this basic idea that it's not going to stop mass shootings. It's not going to stop gun violence at all. And instead, you're going to basically be giving up your rights as to whether or not you can have a weapon to the police.
Welcome to the rest of America. Like literally, that already exists. Like
no,
you've been living.
because those that don't care about the law have no problem carrying a gun. I know so many people, and this is from a personal experience from somebody who lived the thug life by proxy. Okay, I'm not saying I lived the thug life initially. I lived the thug life by proxy, and all of my friends had a legal and a throwaway. And the legal was something they carried, they could have on them in a legal situation, and the throwaway was something they could use in a pinch when the law was murky and they can get away with it. If you at home don't understand a legal and a throwaway, let me paint this in a picture you might better represent. Sure. Some of you have a dildo you would show people, okay? You have a dildo you would show people and say, "Oh yeah, this is my dildo. This makes me happy." Then you have that motherfucker that would bring shame upon your family, but you still jam up your ass, okay? For those of you that don't live the thug life, you have a legal and a throwaway dildo, and you know this. And I know this because I'm sick as fuck, but I respect you. So write that in the chat. He is sick.
Sure.
Yeah,
sure.
I grew up in Beverly Hills. Slightly different set of experiences. Throw me a salad fork. I'm gonna show you guys some crazy shit. Okay.
All right.
Fair.
That is kind of cute. Like I grew up in the Rust Belt, near Detroit. So I would love to hear about Beverly Hills. It's kind of
I was joking. I've never actually eaten a salad in my life.
To explain my childhood in the least amount of words, everybody where I grew up wanted to be from the Bay Area rap scene.
I wanted to be in the Bay Area punk scene. No.
Bay Area was lit in the 90s.
There was like Green Day and Operation Ivy and all those like kind of cool like Bay Area.
Everybody
punk
here
bands.
wanted to be Mac Dre and fucking who's the fat guy? I cannot remember his goddamn name right now, and I love him. I'm drunk. I'm not going to go any further, but there's so much talent there in the Bay Area, and Seattle wanted to be the Bay Area so badly.
No, they made their own.
Okay, the Bay Area sucks, so I'm happy Seattle failed in that mission.
Luckily, Macklemore came in and cleaned up the problem that Sir Mix-a-Lot left.
For me, my main issue with the Oregon gun law, since we're hopping points, I'm only here till the end of the hour because I've got a debate after.
Yes,
appreciate you. Thank you.
But the my main issue is that, as I understand it, Oregon is 3 blue cities surrounded by the chattering hills of neo-Nazi militias and white nationalists. True. Yeah, that's true. Basically, like the hills of Oregon are like the Taliban in terms of density of compounds and like armories. And
there's literally a movement in like for 3/4 of Oregon wants to become part of Idaho.
It's less than that. It's like 2/3.
Yeah, but
it's really cool. Before we go it's almost 3/4.
Before we go any deeper into fantasizing Oregon's problems, Seattle is Oregon, but instead
not even close to that.
Instead of surrounded by neo-Nazis, we're literally surrounded by the bastion of capitalism. As strong as you think the neo-Nazis are, we have Bill Gates, we have Jeffrey Bezos, and we have a myriad of other motherfucking billionaires burying us in their fucking mess.
Billy.
So when you say Portland is victim to a neo-Nazi realm, a regime, Seattle is victim to the actual fucking problem.
When you're like screaming, when Vaush looks at his camera, I'm like, oh.
Go on. Sorry,
it's my big puppy dog eyes. The critical difference being that Amazon employees are all limp-wristed soy babies who would never put up a fight in any kind of civic instability situation.
Still the place to be in the Bay Area.
Ben, you gotta put this fucking dono button above the stars. Turn the stars off if you can. Because they're donating
Gilman
to be on
Street,
the screen.
Like, no, people are telling me about Gilman. That was like my place I'd always wanted to like play the
Gilman Street is the place to be in the Bay Area for punks.
It is still amazing.
I would actually really love to have a nice long conversation about the history of extremism, the history of like the the Northwest Imperative, the movement of like the neo-Nazis, the white supremacist organizations and shit. Like from the very founding of Oregon as a whites-only fucking state,
It
all the
was.
way up until
I didn't
Yeah, they
know
didn't.
this.
They didn't even let slaves in because they hated
Yeah.
black people so much. They
You
didn't
know
even
what,
let
guys?
slaves.
Yeah.
You know what,
They,
guys?
they,
You
yeah,
know-
yeah, no,
Hey,
this is no, this is true.
Hold
Listen,
wait. I gotta get
let's
this.
do this.
I gotta get this.
Hold on,
Shout
Point
out
of
to
order.
Oregon.
Point of order.
Play
Point of order.
this.
Is
Shout out
anybody
to
is anybody
Oregon
else here Oregonian? Is
slavery.
anybody else here
Just
Oregonian?
because of how much they hate blacks.
You.
Is anybody else here Oregonian? No?
Oh,
No, is
so
okay.
I want to tell you
Okay.
a girl that I'm friends with who was
Yeah.
like, I'm so mad because they're so mad at me in Oregon. Look, I am recently like kind of buddies with someone in DMs. Art Van Gogh. She was like, it's so sad that Oregon used to be this white only place and now I'm getting persecuted.
We
No
gotta
way.
If
Dude,
you're
okay,
buddies,
but
Said
look,
that to
but-
me.
if you're buddies with her, let's get her
I
in
feel
here.
like she is
I-
such a hopeless woman who's like so hopeless and dumb, and I'm
I-
like, sweetheart.
All of us
like-
are hopeless.
I want to get into the Art Van Gogh thing. I super do. But like while we have Vaush, I think that there is a really important and a really fascinating conversation to look at and analyze the most poignant example of like how white supremacy can actually take root in a place, the migration of it, the plans and the plotting of like how that whole thing fucking was enacted, and then inevitably how it had to extrapolate itself into like the modern world and like where they are now. Oregon, Washington, Idaho, right now are home to some of the most severe and intense white nationalist, white ethnic, extremist militia groups in the fucking country. And there's a reason for that, and there's a historiosity behind that that most people in this country, and especially around the world, do not fucking know. And it is fucking crazy, and it's real. It's one of the reasons why back in like 2016, when everybody's like, oh, are you gonna call everybody a fucking Nazi? I was tearing my fucking hair out, and I'm like, dude, you do not understand that they actually
You were
those
one
things
of them.
actually exist. Ben, first of all,
What?
kiss my sweet fucking pucker. Second of all, that it's real, but that shit, it's fucking
You
real,
were-
man.
you were
That
one
is
of them.
real.
Take the stars down, boy.
All right, anyway, I'm done. All
No,
right.
it's real. No,
Stars
it's
down, boy.
real, and it's a fucking problem. It has one of the most stark divides between like city culture and like the adjacent rural area cultures. You know,
Yeah,
I mean, like people
absolutely.
talk about like Austin and its surrounding areas, but I
Thank
feel
you,
like it's
Seth.
way harsher here than almost anywhere else in the states.
Absolutely.
You can drive out from Seattle for like 20 minutes and instantly enter obvious Trump territory, and
Yep.
and far beyond that too.
Yeah,
Not just
but
Trump
you have to
territory.
remember that Seattle is the fucking ground base like Portland for these motherfuckers that are fighting in the streets and actually challenging the system. So like, yeah, of course
But
there's
it was the same way in Ohio. Like we had like a group in Ohio where we would like, run certain
Yeah.
agendas, and it shrank and shrank and shrank, and now there's nothing. Like Ohio is a red state. It used to be like a purely swing
I don't
state.
think Ohio's a red state
It
as
is.
much as
no,
much
no,
as
no. It is.
the-
It
the-
is.
I think that the major cities are still blue.
No. Well,
That's
yeah, the
something we
major
have to
cities have
remember,
always been
right?
blue.
We
Ohio
have
is
to
like
remember there's hope
a
in every
total
state.
red
Every
state
major
now.
city in every
Here's a
state
great-
is
here's a great-
blue.
Oh my God! Here's a great example. So Eugene is like a city of all inclusivity. We've got like lots of drag shows. We have got gay bars. Like everybody is very
Yeah.
inclusive. Everybody
I'm from
flies
Texas.
the
We
fucking
don't have
Black
any
Lives
of
Matter
these
flag.
problems except for gangbusters, hustlers, and thieves. Even our
So-
white supremacists don't go past Central Texas and live near Louisiana and Oklahoma.
Right.
Even fascists are small number and look different.
So we've
Thank you,
got
Mighty
we've got
Five.
we've got all of these different like very inclusive groups here in Eugene. If you drive 25 miles away to the town of Sweet Home, the last time I was out there 9 months ago, I went down one side street off the main street and I saw a house that had in one window a Confederate flag and in the second window a Nazi fucking battle flag. They're
Yeah.
Hell
They're
yeah, that's what
fucking
you call
everywhere.
consistency.
And like
Yeah.
I've seen like documentaries where they're like the two Nazi groups, and then there's like the Nazi group that's like, no, our grandparents fought against the Nazis in World War II. We don't want to be part of your like weird.
But this is the secret that not a lot of people want to tell you because they want you to be liberal, they want you to be down. The second you stand up to these weak fucking Nazis, they buckle. The majority of Nazis exist because they have nowhere else to fucking go. And they exist in this realm where they feel like they're accepted because that's the last fucking bastion of hope for them. We, the people, the majority of us are liberal or we're liberal minded.
Are you running
and
now?
We don't even fucking know it because in our head we're more worried about eating tomorrow than we are about feeding the world tomorrow. There's so many people out here who can't think about the future of politics because they're worried about the future of their children and themselves eating, and we forget that. But the majority of us want the same fucking thing, and it's these pathetic losers that grasp on to the Nazi regime and hold on to that because they themselves do not exist in a world of prosperity. They exist in a world of hate, in a world of weakness, and I will tell you this 1,000 times, and I will listen for your response because I want to know if I'm wrong.
All right, Jeff.
Hey, Vaush, do you think it's just a bunch of Nazi losers that are the problem?
I blame them every time anything happens, really. If I get cut off in traffic, it's a bunch of Nazi losers who are the problem.
Thank you.
I do, however, have to dip in spite of the seething passions on this call. I'm afraid I have to talk about something far less consequential. I hope you all enjoy the rest of this incredibly weird stream that I dropped in on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for
very weird. I
love you
appreciate
and
it.
we miss you. We enjoy you every time you come by. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Take care. Stay cozy.
Cheers. Thank
We're
you.
all so cozy.
Well, that was a fucking trip. All right, hold on. Fascinating conversations had. My parents' generation talk about Howard Stern, but he has literally nothing on some YouTube podcast. I mean, Howard Stern's done some pretty wacky stuff, but yeah, standards for media were a lot different back then. Howard Stern was before Jackass.